Echo Vault, Episode 4.
We have covered a farm in Bavaria where a killer stayed for 3 days and nobody noticed. A British spy locked in a bag with no fingerprints and no explanation. And an entire country, Belgium, where the military scrambled fighter jets and a NATO general stood at a podium and said, "We have no explanation." Tonight we go to a small Brazilian city called Varginha. January 20th, 1996. 3 young women. A creature in a courtyard. A military operation that the Brazilian army has never fully explained. A soldier who handled something with his bare hands and was dead within weeks. And a neurosurgeon who kept silent for nearly 30 years. Until January 2026, when he put his name and his medical reputation on the line, walked into the National Press Club in Washington, D.C., and told the world what he saw inside that hospital room. This is Brazil's Roswell, and it just got a lot harder to dismiss. January 20th, 1996, 3:30 in the afternoon. Varginha is a city of about 100,000 people in the state of Minas Gerais in southeastern Brazil. It is known for coffee production. It is quiet, ordinary, the kind of place where nothing much happens. 3 young women are walking home through the Jardim Andere neighborhood. Liliana Fatima Silva is 16. Her sister Valkyria is 14. Their friend Katia Andrade Javier is 22. They turn a corner and stop. In a vacant lot against a wall, crouching, is something that none of them can explain. They will later describe it, separately, independently, in formal statements, as approximately 4 feet tall, brown, oily skin, a large head disproportionate to its body, 3 raised bumps along the top of the skull, eyes that were described as 2 large red orbs, a powerful smell like ammonia that hit them before they even saw it. The creature was conscious. It was looking at them. All 3 women ran. They ran until they couldn't run anymore. Then they told their families. And within hours, the story was moving through Varginha in the way that impossible things move through small cities, fast and unstoppable. But here is what the 3 women did not know when they ran from that vacant lot. That morning, before their encounter, a man named Carlos de Souza had been driving on a nearby road when he observed a cigar-shaped object in the sky. It was moving fast but losing altitude. Its rear section appeared damaged, trailing something. He watched it until it disappeared toward the ground. He told no one at the time. And that same morning, before the women's encounter, before Carlos saw the craft, the Brazilian army had already received reports. Military vehicles were already moving through Varginha. Fire department units had already been deployed to an area near the city. By the time Liliana, Valkyria, and Katia turned that corner at 3:30 in the afternoon, whatever had crashed near Varginha that morning had already been found. The Brazilian army would later say the military presence was routine, equipment maintenance, scheduled exercises. But a journalist named Nye Nadea, who tried to investigate that day, told a different story. He said soldiers blocked him from reaching the area. When he asked why, he was told it was a matter of national security. When he persisted, he was warned he would be arrested. The detail that has always separated Varginha from other UFO cases is the soldier. His name was Marco Eli Cherez. He was 22 years old, a military police corporal, young, physically fit, healthy by every account. On the evening of January 20th, 1996, Cherez and his patrol partner were reportedly driving through Varginha when a creature crossed the road in front of their vehicle. Investigators and confirmed in later testimony, Sherez acted immediately. He jumped out of the car and seized the being with his bare hands. He physically wrestled it into the vehicle. He then transported it to the regional hospital in Virginia. In the days that followed, Sherez began to deteriorate. He complained of a strange, greasy residue on his skin that would not wash off. He noticed a persistent smell of ammonia that seemed to cling to him no matter how much he washed. A small abscess developed under his armpit.
He was admitted to hospital. The abscess was a minor procedure, the kind of thing that, in a healthy 22-year-old, should have been dealt with quickly and completely. Instead, Sherez got worse. The infection spread. Doctors described the bacterium as unusually aggressive, highly virulent and resistant to every antibiotic treatment they tried. Marco Eli Sherez died on February 15, 1996, less than 4 weeks after the incident. His family later alleged that the military pressured them to bury his body quickly, without the kind of thorough examination that a sudden, unexplained death in a young, healthy soldier would normally require. At the January 2026 press conference in Washington, D.C., a forensic pathologist named Dr. Armando, who performed the autopsy on Sherez, gave testimony on the record for the first time. He described the bacterium as unlike anything in his experience. A colleague, pathologist Dr. Shwam Jamini, analyzed tissue samples from Sherez without being told anything about the alleged alien encounter. His written conclusion, submitted to the press conference, described the bacterium's aggressiveness as suggesting a possible extraterrestrial origin. A legal effort is now underway to exhume Sherez's body for modern testing. His family is waiting for answers, 30 years on. The Brazilian Army's official position has always been that nothing unusual happened in Virginia in January 1996. They commissioned a formal military inquiry, IPM number 18/97, which ran for over a year and produced 2 complete volumes of documentation. The inquiry heard testimony from named military personnel, reviewed vehicle logs and expenditure records, and examined the movements of every unit that was in Virginia on January 20th. Its conclusion: the military presence was routine. Equipment maintenance, scheduled operations. The women who saw the creature had seen a local man named Mudinho, a person with a mental illness who often crouched in public spaces. That was the official story. And it might have been convincing if the documents themselves did not raise the questions they do. Researcher and journalist Gareth recently obtained and translated all 13 declassified Brazilian military documents from the case. Over 1 million characters of Portuguese text. What they found was a formal inquiry that, in their words, appeared designed to provide plausible explanations rather than genuinely investigate. They noted that the inquiry accepted military personnel's alibis without independent verification. They noted that they expected without documentation. And buried in those same declassified files was something unexpected. A 1971 military intelligence report from Brazil's Ministry of Aeronautics, classified confidential at the time, describing UFO activity over Virginia, over the same locations, 25 years before the 1996 incident. The report described an object that remained stationary over a residence while one of its occupants lost consciousness. It described luminous flashes over the city, witnessed by doctors, merchants, and farmers. The 1996 incident did not come from nowhere. The Brazilian military knew this area. They had been watching it for decades. At the January 2026 press conference,
Retired US Air Force Colonel Carl Clausen made a claim that, if true, changes the international dimension of this case entirely. He stated that in January 1996, a US cargo plane secretly flew into Brazil without authorization from Brazilian authorities. It landed, loaded what he described as unusual cargo, and departed to an unknown location. Clausen estimated that 30 to 40 Americans would have direct knowledge of this operation if it occurred. He pleaded with them publicly to come forward. The Pentagon has denied all of this. The Brazilian army maintains its official position. But the declassified documents are real. The 1971 report is real. And Marco Eli Cherez is genuinely dead.
On January 20th, 2026, exactly 30 years to the day after the encounter in Varginha, hundreds of people gathered at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. The event was organized by filmmaker James Fox, who has spent nearly 3 decades investigating the Varginha case. Fox has appeared multiple times on the Joe Rogan Experience, worked alongside former CIA officials and Pentagon insiders, and produced the 2022 documentary Moment of Contact, specifically about Varginha. He is not a fringe figure. His methodology is documented, and his sources are named. At the press conference, Fox presented new witness testimony, some in person, some via recorded video, because Brazilian visa applications for 6 witnesses had been denied. Among the witnesses was Carlos de Sousa, the man who saw the craft descend on January 20th, 1996. Military personnel who requested anonymity, medical professionals, and then there was Dr. Italo Venturelli. Dr. Venturelli is a neurosurgeon. From 1998 to 2002, he served as Director of Finance for the Department of Neurology and Neurosurgery at 3 of the largest medical facilities in Varginha. He currently serves as the leading neurosurgeon at the regional hospital. His colleagues describe him as known for technical rigor, medical ethics, and responsibility in managing complex cases. He had kept silent for 29 years. He said he finally chose to speak after suffering a near-fatal heart attack. He said he did not want to die with this on his conscience. According to Dr. Venturelli's testimony at the 2026 press conference, he was working at Varginha's regional hospital in 1996 when a colleague pulled him into a room. The colleague showed him video footage that appeared to depict a child with a severe case of hydrocephalus, a condition that causes the skull to enlarge abnormally. But when he was taken to see the patient in person, he realized immediately that what he was looking at was not a child. He described standing in that hospital room for 4 minutes. He described a being approximately 4 feet tall with brown, oily skin, a disproportionately large head, red eyes, a persistent smell of ammonia that he recognized from the witness accounts he would later read. He said the being was alive. He said it communicated with him, not with words, but in a way he described as direct, immediate understanding. He said he believed the intelligence he encountered exceeded our own. He said he was told in no uncertain terms never to speak of it. For 29 years, he didn't. Dr. Italo Venturelli is not a UFO enthusiast. He is not seeking attention or book deals. He is a senior medical professional with decades of credentials who chose, on the 30th anniversary of the event, to put his name and reputation behind an account that he knew would be challenged and ridiculed. At the press conference, according to reporters in the room, he wore a stoic, knowing expression throughout. The Brazilian army's explanation has never changed. The creature the three women saw was Mudinho, a local man with a mental illness known in the neighborhood, who often crouched in public spaces. The military presence was routine. The fire department trucks were on a scheduled maintenance run. Chereze died of a natural bacterial infection. Everything has an ordinary explanation. Skeptic Brian Dunning, who investigated the case in detail, was blunt. He called Varginha the most compelling example of a case where, in his words, literally nothing unusual happened, and it was magnified into what believers consider unassailable proof of alien visitation. He pointed out that the three women's accounts were gathered after significant community discussion, which can contaminate memory. He noted that the ammonia smell they described is consistent with certain industrial areas in Brazilian cities. These are fair points, and a responsible investigation has to say so clearly.
The Mudinho explanation is possible. The three women were genuinely frightened. Frightened people in a charged atmosphere can misidentify things. Memory is malleable. The Army inquiry did produce documentation. The alternative explanation for military presence, routine maintenance, is not inherently implausible. But here is what the skeptical account asks us to accept simultaneously. That the three women, 16, 14, and 22 years old, with no UFO background, independently and consistently described the same impossible creature. That Marco Chereze died of a freak drug-resistant bacterial infection weeks after allegedly handling it. That a neurosurgeon with 30 years of medical credentials fabricated his account for no apparent personal benefit. That a 1971 military intelligence report describing UFO activity over the same locations was coincidence. That a U.S. cargo plane flew into Brazil, loaded unknown cargo, and returned to an unknown location. And this is all routine. That is a lot to accept simultaneously. The skeptic account explains each piece individually. It struggles with all of them together. Varginha is different from most of the cases we cover on this channel. In Hinterkaifeck, there are no living witnesses. In Gareth Williams, there are no named confessions. In the Belgian wave, the government went public but stopped short of saying what it was. Varginha has named witnesses who are still alive. It has a named doctor who has now gone on record. It has a formal military inquiry with real document numbers you can look up in Brazil's Superior Military Court archive. It has a dead soldier whose family is still asking for his body to be exhumed. It has declassified files from 1971 that nobody can explain away. And it has the testimony of a retired U.S. Air Force colonel at the National Press Club asking 30 to 40 Americans to come forward with what they know. The city of Varginha, for its part, has leaned into the story. There is now a large alien statue in the city center. There is a UFO museum. There are tourist routes that trace the locations from January 20th, 1996. The mayor has publicly called for the Brazilian government to release all documents related to the case. 3 young women ran from something in a vacant lot 30 years ago. Their accounts have never fundamentally changed. The creature they described has never been identified as anything ordinary. The soldier who handled it with his bare hands is buried in Varginha. And the doctor who was in that hospital room in 1996 finally said what he saw. Whatever happened in Varginha on January 20th, 1996, it happened. 3 young women, a soldier dead in weeks, a doctor silent for 30 years, declassified files going back to 1971, a U.S. cargo plane that allegedly flew in and flew out with something it would never name. And on January 20th, 2026, at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C., a neurosurgeon who finally spoke. That's Echo Vault, Episode 4. Every claim in this video is sourced from declassified Brazilian military documents, the formal IPM inquiry record, the January 2026 National Press Club press conference transcript, and verified news coverage. All links are in the description below. Next week, we go to England, December 1980. A pine forest in Suffolk, next to a U.S. Air Force base that stored nuclear weapons. 3 nights. An object that landed. A base commander who recorded audio as he approached it. Radiation levels in the soil that should not be there. And a British government memo that tried to stay classified for 20 years. Rendlesham Forest, next Thursday. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Until then, keep asking questions.